Welcome to the Louisville Business Review, where we spotlight the best local businesses. Today we have with us Phillip Perkins, head coach of Area 502 and founder of National Sports Training Alliance, a 501c3 nonprofit that helps children and their families better their lives through martial arts and fitness.
Welcome everybody to the Area 502 where the five-star boxing team resides. As you can see, if you take a look around in the gym, we have kids of all ages and size, men and women, boys and girls. We train kids starting at 5 years old all the way up to 40 if they want to compete. So come to Area 502 and we'll teach you how to be the best boxer you can be.
I would highly recommend coming out here. Anytime I hear friends talking about wanting to get their kids in some kind of mixed martial arts, I immediately pipe up and tell about what it's done for us, what it's done for my son. He belongs here, and he walks in and everybody here just makes him feel immediately welcome. And the men here have just taken him right under their wings like he was one of their own, like he was their age. They treat him with the utmost dignity and respect. They encourage him. They're really good at encouraging, and they're amazing coaches. They really, really are. Like, we'll be here forever.
Hi, my name is Nathan Pierce. I'm a fighter here with Area 502 MMA. Outside the gym, I work at Louisville Metro Corrections downtown, and also with a former youth pastor, and also assistant wrestling coach at Manual High School. I'm able to come out here and help young people that are here, help the kids' classes, that help them grow as individuals on the mat and off the mat as well. You can come in and you can do stuff to get you in shape, or if you want to fight one day, or you just want to do jiu-jitsu, or you just want to do boxing. It's here for everybody, and that's what makes us great.
Let's go! Everything in here is done as a team. Let's go!
Welcome, folks. Today we have with us a very special guest. Welcome, Phillip.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. Phillip, could you tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what your organization does?
Man, it's going to be hard to beat your introduction. Again, my name is Phillip Perkins. I'm the head coach and the owner of Area 502 Mixed Martial Arts. We're out sort of off of 3rd Street, out towards the south end near the airport. At Area 502, we do boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, self-defense. We have a full private gym. A lot of different types of martial arts and fitness for all ages, for men, for women, for families, for everybody. Through the gym, we've also started a nonprofit, the National Sports Training Alliance, which we help kids and families that aren't able to afford training. We're able to help them better themselves and better their lives through martial arts and fitness. We're able to do things like obviously pay their tuition, send them on training trips, send them to tournaments, buy their gear, and really just give them something positive to do to put all their energy towards. So but the long and short of it's the owner of Area 502 and founder of the National Sports Training Alliance.
This is really amazing. There's so much to look into here. First of all, what was your inspiration behind starting this non-for-profit, and how does it tie into your gym? When did you start both these organizations?
The gym itself's been open since 2013. We opened in 2013. The nonprofit come around maybe 4 or 5 years later. Honestly, there were just a lot of people coming in that couldn't afford training. And if they really wanted to be there, I would give them gloves. I would give them uniforms. I would give them out of my pocket, out of the gym's pocket, just whatever they needed. And there come a point where it was a lot. And I also wanted to help more people. And talking through a friend through the gym, I got some good information on starting a nonprofit. I'd thought about it for a while, and I just had no experience in it. So I don't want to say I was scared, but I just didn't know where to start. So one day I just went ahead, jumped in, started the nonprofit. Took a little while for it to kind of catch wind, and then it's taken off a little bit. We're doing pretty well now. We're able to help a lot more kids. We've got some kids in the boxing program ranked top 10 in the country, USA Boxing, and some adults too. We help a lot of adults that come in here, and yeah, that started, I want to say, 2017, and really just so we could help more people, just make it possible to help more people, and not always come out of my pocket.
Absolutely. Now, you're very humble for who you are. I understand you run a couple of businesses. These aren't your only two enterprises that you're responsible for. Could you tell us a little bit more about what other organizations you're responsible for?
Sure. So we got Area 502 Mixed Martial Arts, the gym. Connected to Area 502 Mixed Martial Arts is the Jungle Gym, which is a fitness facility. It's completely separate than the martial arts facility. Then, of course, we run the nonprofit out of here as well, the National Sports Training Alliance. Then I also own a sign shop. I do signs, banners, vehicle wraps, any type of company, branding, logos, websites, all types of stuff through that. Through that company, there's a sister company, Water Wraps. It's a boat wrap company where we do wraps on boats as well. So a lot of stuff going on, all in the same location, all in the same two buildings. A lot going on here at this property. So,
wow, how incredible that you're involved in so many different organizations, and yet you're able to keep your cool about it all and do so well with all of them. What was your inspiration starting out with these organizations, and did you have certain mentors that helped you out? How did you get to where you are right now?
Yeah, there's been a lot of people along the way that I wouldn't say a mentor, but I've had a lot of people help me along the journey. It takes a team to do all of this for sure. I could not have done it by myself, and different people at different stages along the process have helped in different ways. But yeah, I don't know where I went from your original question there, but yeah, just a lot of people along the way have helped to make it happen. And yeah, man.
So Philip, what drives you? Because you obviously, people could say, hey, you have a boxing gym, you have a non-for-profit, you have a business, and you have another business. What drives you? What keeps you motivated to do more?
I'd say probably the students. Just it's hard to come in here and not be motivated. If I have a bad day and I come in here and then the place fills up and I'm doing my job, I'm coaching, I'm answering questions, doing my thing, it's hard to be like that. You get caught up in the good stuff in the moment. It's easy to do that here because there's so much going on. There's so many people to be involved with the process of what they're going through here, whether they're competing or losing weight or just trying to be a better version of themselves.
Yeah. Now, Philip, have you always had this entrepreneurial spark in you, or is this something that's relatively new?
Yeah, I guess I have. I've tried a million things. Not all of them worked out. Stuff as random as I wholesaled tropical fish before, shipped fish across the country in styrofoam boxes, and had some websites and done all kinds of stuff. And then the martial arts ended up sticking. I was coaching for another team and another gym, and just things didn't work out. And my students were like, why don't you open a gym? Why don't you just open your own gym? And I'll be honest, I didn't really want to. And then it just kind of fell into that. And through that process, it's grown and grown. And 8 years later, we got a couple hundred members, and it's a 12,000 square foot facility. And it's pretty amazing.
Now, as far as the nonprofit is concerned, how do you fund it these days? I know in the beginning it was a lot of your own money. Mm-hmm. How are you funding it now?
So we've been lucky, and we've had some awesome sponsors that help out. I would like to name them all, but I wouldn't want to forget one. But through the sponsors and doing some events, luckily from having the gym, putting on events is something that we're really good at. So we've done everything. We've done 5K races. We've done an art show. We did an art show. We did a field day, an adult field day. We did a music concert last summer. And we did our first sparring boxing event where we had people from the gym spar each other, and then people come out and it looked like an event. And we raised a good amount of money. It was almost $5,000 on that night. So yeah, we do different events. We have a monthly donation program that we got the link on the website now. People can donate monthly. And just like anything else, grinding. The money don't come through the door. We're out there trying to find people that are interested in seeing what we do. Because until you come in here and you see what we do, it doesn't make sense. Once you walk through here and you see the kids and you see the families and you see the dads working with the sons, and the people tell you the stories of how they've lost 50 pounds, lost 40 pounds, changed their life, got out of trouble, this, that, then you know.
So when you say we, how many people work in this non-for-profit?
I would say immediately about a handful, but there's a lot of people that help here and there. When we have events, people come in and we kind of have certain people that do the music, certain people that do the food, certain people that, you know, do the lights. When we do events, everybody or a lot of people have a small part, which adds up to do a good amount. But at the same time, we're also looking to add more solid members to the team of people to kind of help us with the foundation, help it grow.
Looking at your websites, they're really, really professional. Do you guys get them done yourself or you? Yeah, through
Kentucky Signs and Graphics, through my sign company, we do. Originally, when we opened, we started out just doing signs, banners, and vehicle graphics. But then a few years in, we started doing more branding, logos, design, websites. And for the last 10 years, we've kind of just anything that has to do with the company branding, we can take care of. We do commercial painting, really anything to bring your business to life and help you get more customers is what we specialize in there. So,
and when it comes to your companies outside of the gym, how many employees do you have roughly?
Outside of the gym, just one, just myself, and I got my brother that helps me.
Wow.
I've had some other employees over the years. And right now is a weird time for finding employees. Yeah. So yeah. We're buckled down and we stay plenty busy around here. But hopefully we're going to be able to put some more people into some more roles, fill some of these roles and help us continue to grow in all the businesses.
That's great. And in terms of this non-for-profit, what is your vision for it? If you had unlimited amount of funds, right? Let's say, I don't know, the Gates Foundation reached out to you and said, we're going to make a major endowment to you. What would you do with those funds to further this non-for-profit?
I mean, of course, I would sit down and think of a great plan, but off the top of my head, more after-school programs, picking the kids up that really need it, that can't afford to get here, making sure they have the gear that they need, having more extracurricular activities here, not just martial arts, but gymnastics and art and different things to continue to help the kids' mind grow, not just in martial arts. I could go on and on. Really, we could help them with more tournaments, and there's just so many more scholarships we could offer, and it's unbelievable what we could do. What we've done with a little is unbelievable. What we could do with a lot it's scary, exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Now, I want the folks that are watching to really get a sense of why this matters, right? So yes, it's a nonprofit. Yes, you're helping out children and their families and people that could otherwise, would otherwise have a hard time affording your services. But could you share with us some stories that are very important to you or significant in terms of how they impacted you and why this mission means so much to you?
Yeah, I mean, just one off the top of my head, there's a young man that trains here. I had another student trained with me since he was young, 9 years old. Once he got into his teens, he kind of went off the wrong path, unfortunately. He brought in another one of his friends. I thought that young man was going to go off the wrong path as well. through him coming in, he decided to stick with training. He was 14 at the time. He's now 18. He decided to stick with training. Obviously, didn't go down the wrong direction. He graduated high school early. He works a full-time job. He also runs his own small inflatable business. He had his first fight his first fight within 1 week of turning 18. So he was more than prepared. And in the meantime, he had competed in jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, traveled to Florida to compete. And now he's, one of my training partners.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, there's so many. We do a tour here once a month where we bring different businesses and people in. It's the first Monday normally at 5:30. We'll bring people in. You can sign up online also. But we'll bring people in and we just walk around and literally just talk to them and let them see some classes. Because what you said a minute ago is what was said to me before. Somebody said, well, I know you help kids. I know you need money, but I don't know really what you do. And that just put a light in my head. Like, yeah, we need to show people what we really do, because when you come in here, it's like, wow, I see people's jaws drop. They're amazed that there's 60, 80 people in here all working together and working so hard, and it's such a positive environment. So, the tours have really allowed me to show more people what we do, so they understand that we don't just need money and we don't just help kids. It's much more than that.
That's exactly the impression that I'm getting, is that you're more than just a gym and you're more than just a nonprofit. And for people to really get a sense of what you do, they need to see and experience how your clients are experiencing the gym and what it's doing for their families, because it's not just about the children, but it's about the lives they touch, and the impact that your gym is having has a ripple effect on the community that I'm sure is very, very large.
No, yeah, the support within the gym too. When something good happens, when something bad happens, there's people that always are rooting for you. There's people that always have your back. People you wouldn't even know. I have one of my students. He's a massage therapist. He's been my massage therapist for years. And then another student doesn't barely know him, had a bad back problem, and it was bothering me. Called me, said, Coach, I'm not going to be able to train. My back is. I said, go and see Gary at Muscular Therapy. He said, I don't have the money. I said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. If you need to go. I sent him to Gary. Gary says, oh, well, actually, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Wow.
And then he tells me, he said, hey, I got Nick back. And then the gentleman was back training within 2 days. He seriously. And then he said, yeah, I took care of it. Don't worry about it. He said, I don't know Nick that well. So instead of him saying, I don't know Nick that well, I didn't want to do it, he goes, I don't know Nick that well, so I thought that was a good opportunity to get to know him.
That is such a beautiful share.
Blew my mind, and when I thought I was going to try to do something nice and help the kid out, he totally trumps me with something super nice, and but it's situations like that all the time. And of course, life's always got negative and bad. That's the part you just got to deal with it the best you can. But it's so nice to have, it's refreshing to have a lot of positive around you, and that's here.
Yeah.
So
when it comes to gym and a nonprofit, is it basically you and your brother that are running it?
The gym, we have a whole staff. We got a couple young ladies that work in the office. My wife helps out. We have probably 10 different instructors. We have a young gentleman, Dylan, that works here. He's he's here all day, holding it down, making sure everything's running right. So to run the gym and the nonprofit, it takes a team. It's a machine, and everybody's its own little gear, just kind of keeping the machine running, because it's a lot going on.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine. Now, you have a full plate right now, one would say, but how were your days in the early days? Like, how would you see it differently? Like in the first few days when you started a non-for-profit, what were things like back then? Could you tell us a little bit about that and the lessons you learned from it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't have any, in my case, I didn't have any direction. I didn't really know. I knew what a nonprofit was, but I didn't know that much about what it was, how they actually work. Yeah, I mean, because if you're not involved, you think, oh, you get a nonprofit, people donate you money, but it's not like that. You still have to find people that believe in your cause. You have to get out there and show people what you're actually doing, so they have a chance to believe in what you're doing. So the first year or two is really just figuring that out. What can we do? How do we make our mark? How do we say, hey, look at us? So we tried different things. Like I said, I didn't want to do just the same. We did art shows and all these different things. And then when we did the sparring event where they come in and they actually boxed a little bit, it was a hit for us. And I should have known that's what we do the best. So yeah, and that also, after that, we talked about starting to do actual real boxing fights. These are just a sparring match for fun for people to come to raise money and awareness. But through that, we're going to start doing boxing fights, 5-star promotions. So we'll have another entity coming out of this building too.
So your website mentions that you have children as young as 5 years old. Could you tell us some stories when it comes to age and challenges? Like, do you have people that have overcome enormous amount of weight loss, or who are, maybe on the elderly side and they're boxing? Could you share with us some of those stories?
Oh man, I could go through and there's so many of them. I mean, just you could go to our Google and go down the reviews and just see where people, I lost 50 pounds, I lost 30 pounds. The best and the worst was after Corona. So many people were so out of shape once we opened back up. It was scary, but then so many people lost so much weight and got in such great shape. It was a good feeling. And that made me realize right before Corona, I thought about selling the sign shop. And after Corona, give me a different outlook on business and what could happen. And I decided to stick with all of them. So never know what's going to happen these days. So just trying to be safe.
So speaking of Corona, how has the epidemic impacted this non-for-profit, and how has that changed things for you moving forward?
The nonprofit and as far as the donations and the events, it didn't change it a whole lot. We did the one event, the art show was towards the end of Corona. So like part of it was virtual and it just didn't get a good turnout like it should have, even though it was a really cool event. We had a live artist doing live art and two live artists, and it was really cool. It just didn't quite get that. But of course we closed down for a couple months, slow opening up, and probably open back up at 30% of the people and 30% of the money, and just had to dig out of it like everybody else, keep going. We actually moved to a new location. Corona broke loose, or whatever you'd like to call it, I believe in March or April. And then that December, we moved to a new location that was twice the size. So very scary time to make a move like that. And, but it was the best thing we ever did. As soon as we moved here, more people come. We're in a new area. We've done really no marketing, no real advertising, and we still are, very, very busy. So we're very lucky.
So it doesn't seem like you have an issue getting new customers. People seem to be attracted to what you're offering. But are you doing anything actively to bring in new customers to the boxing gym?
What is it? I'm sorry.
Are you doing anything to bring in new customers?
We don't. What's weird is we don't do Facebook ads or nothing like I should. I should do all that. And right now we've had so many. We stay busy. We've done Facebook ads, and we'll go back to them. We go on and off, but at the moment right now, we're not doing any kind of marketing. We're not doing any Google ads. We do obviously a lot through Facebook, Instagram. Now that we've been open 8 years, we've kind of found our niche on some certain things that works for us and some ways for us to advertise, to get people in our doors. I've had mixed luck with the Facebook ads, different people doing them ourselves, going through that whole process. And I know it can be super successful for some people. We just have not found our way with that yet. So, but luckily we found our way through just various things like Bring a Friend Day and Bring a Friend Week, and different things like that to help us keep new faces coming in. And also, I just make sure the place is fun. It's fun here. We train hard. Everybody is trying to reach their goals, but it's a fun place. It's a good vibe when you come in here, and I think that's the most important thing. If we can get you in the doors, you'll probably come back.
Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about your background, because obviously you didn't come up with this from thin air. You've had experience in martial arts yourself, and you've seen the benefits of the discipline and what you get from that kind of a training and experience. Could you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I started training around 2004, and I had a couple fights around 2008 through 2012, 2013. Continued to train jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing the whole time. I received my black belt in jiu-jitsu 2017. And yeah, I'm the head coach. I coach the MMA here. I coach MMA 7 days a week, jiu-jitsu. I help coach the boxing as well. And yeah, I mean, as far as changing my life, I mean, I don't know where I'd be without it. I've met so many friends, so many good people. It's opened so many doors for me. And it's also just, saved my life. There was a time I wasn't in such a good spot in my life, and martial arts was one of the few things that was constant for me. No matter what, even if I didn't have a place to sleep, I knew I had to go to the gym the next day. I always had to go to the gym. So even like looking back now, I think I always had a kind of a different mentality than others. As where others would find a reason not to go, I would find a reason to go. And some of those things I think have paid off for me in the end. But yeah, that's kind of my background. And I've just always had a true love for martial arts. I teach, I go home, I watch it. I still train myself. I'm active myself. I train too much myself. Like I'm always injured. But yeah, it's changed my life. And just I've seen it change so many lives, so many ways, so many different types of people. It's unbelievable.
So this is really interesting, right? For someone who's not in martial arts, they may have a hard time grasping the impact that something like this could have on their life. But could you share with us maybe an example of if someone didn't have this in their life, what would be the alternative?
Yeah, I mean, you got, I don't want to say more common things, but stuff you hear like drinking and people that are getting in trouble that it pulls them off or out of trouble. But I've also heard random stories. One fella, he was very upset at his daughter's boyfriend. So upset that he was wanting to physically harm him. Some things had went on. So he decided he needed a way to channel that. He come to training, and he's been here for 10 or 11 years. I couldn't even see that in him, but that was the original thing in his mind that got him to come in here. I've seen bad relationships. People have bad relationships. They come in here. It helps them clear their mind, get a strong mind. Therefore, they get a strong body, helps them deal with things. And there's a lot of good people in here that you can kind of just be around that always keep you positive. And, we always, even if something bad's going on, we can't really help. We try to say something encouraging and try our best all the time. So I think that this place, if you think of it just like fighting and just competing, you're missing 90% of what really goes on here.
That's amazing. Now, if someone was watching and they were interested to maybe potentially be a sponsor, a donor, what would you encourage them to do?
The first thing is you can go to the website, nstalliance.org, and you can donate right there on the site through PayPal, or you can become a monthly donor through our monthly donation program. I know some people would love to give $500, but they just don't have it. And I totally understand that. But at the same time, they might have $20 a month. I think the minimum is $15 a month donation or something. So yeah, we have that. Or come to one of the tours. Like I said, we do them the first Monday of every month, pretty much. You can reach out just to double check. And we show you around so you can see what actually goes on here. Talk to some of the kids, some of the parents, some of the coaches, and really get the vibe. And then the last thing, I want to say the date is April 19th. I will post about it, but our next sparring event, where we're going to have kids and people from the gym spar, and we have food and drinks and music, and everybody comes. And all the money goes to the nonprofit. Every dime goes straight to the nonprofit. So I believe it's April 19th, but I'll have the date more. But that's a way people could definitely come and support, but also have a good time, man. Have some fun.
That's great. And I can think of a couple of potential sponsors. If they were looking to sponsor your organization, what are some benefits that you offer in terms of exposure?
Sure. Well, we have just on our Instagram and our Facebook, we have somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 people on both of them, plus the hundreds of people coming in and out of the gym every day. We have a very good support system and a good network. So they're becoming a sponsor, but they're also joining a network of people that really support each other. Luckily, through the sign shop, I know some other business owners, and I've been able to put together a small group that really support it and support each other. And then also, if the people that sponsor might need something else, we're able to help them in other areas. You know, I can save the money on signs, graphics, websites, different things. We always try to look out for the people that look out for us.
That's beautiful. It seems like that's part of your secret sauce for your success, is that, you know, you're paying things forward, helping the community out, not expecting anything in return. But what's happening is people are doing the same. So it's almost like a culture that you built.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really cool. It's kind of, sometimes it's hard to realize it because I'm in it, but when I sit back and look at it, it's really cool. And I should be proud more, but I don't have a minute to be proud too often. But I am proud when I think about it. I just feel like there's so much more to do, though, so much more we could do. We're just kind of, it's just, I always say it too, it's just the beginning. So this is just the beginning for what we're going to do. We've got an awesome boxing program in here, 5-star boxing. They teach so many kids and women that come in here. They've been such a big, strong part of our gym as well. And yeah, it's amazing what we're going to do. I'm really excited and thankful.
Philip, this has been such an honor. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience before we wrap up?
Nothing in particular. Just thanks to anyone that takes a second to listen. And thank you to all the sponsors for sure. Thank you to everybody that supports the gym, that supports the nonprofit, and everybody that supports me. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
Are you struggling to figure out the best ways to promote your business? Forget about the failed attempts and get your business featured at Louisville Business Review to experience the real-time conversion and aspire to new heights of success with greater exposure and ROI. Visit www.louisvillebusinessreview.com to get featured now.